Good evening. My name is Oscar Camargo. Today I will be presenting a negative opposition on the supposed resolution that the United States federal government should increase its development of the Earth's moon in one or more of the following areas: energy, minerals, and or water. The opposition focuses their argument defending the idea of spending millions of dollars on extracting minerals from the moon. They state that and believe that it's acceptable because of the abundance of minerals that is found on the moon. First of all, my opposition did specifically state that it would cost approximately $500 million for the whole project to be accomplished successfully. Unfortunately, there was no source provided for this, and I do have a source, pretty credible, straight from NASA.com. They state themselves that the Space Shuttle Endeavour, which was the orbiter built to replace the Space Shuttle Challenger, the price wasn't even close to $500 million. It's actually $1.7 billion. So I believe that maybe the $500 million that was stated by the opposition was the funds needed just for the research alone and not even the project itself. Okay. So if we're willing to spend $1.7 billion, that means we're willing to add on to the $18.2 trillion debt that the United States currently faces. So basically, going to the moon and extracting minerals for energy and other sources, it would offset any type of advantage that it theoretically could help our economy. Instead, all that could potentially happen is the price of those minerals maybe going down, but that isn't even promised, that isn't even guaranteed, since the cost of getting them is outrageous. So sending ships just to take minerals from the moon, coming back with the minerals, all that rocket fuel, all that cost would offset any cheap prices that my opposition would theoretically suggest. Okay, so as I speak about the money that it's going to cost to extract the minerals from the moon, I know that some opposers may suggest that private corporations will supply some funds that will help in the process of extracting the minerals from the moon, but ultimately that would only increase the prices of the minerals, as the corporations are only investing in order for themselves to make a profit, since that's the whole point of the corporation. They're not there just to help people, they're there to make money. So people need to understand that getting and extracting these resources from the moon has a great cost, and although it might be abundant, it's very expensive and takes a lot of time and a lot of technology that the United States federal government or NASA or any other scientific organization may not even be close to having it. Okay. As for the necessity for greener forms of energy here on Earth, according to altenergy.org, if you go outside on a sunny day, and I quote this, they say that the light falling on your face left the sun just 8 minutes ago. Okay, just 8 minutes. It takes us days, a long time, just to go to the moon. And to extract the minerals will take a long time, to come back with the minerals a long time, and all that costs a lot of money. But this source of energy from the moon takes 8 minutes. These rays from the sun take 8 minutes to travel 93 million miles. So they also state that the photons that are falling when they strike your PV module can convert the motion into electricity and into a very safe and green form of energy that won't damage the Earth. Okay. Other forms of energy that they state and list are biomass energy, wind energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, hydroelectric energy, and etc. Okay. Another sub-point that my opposition brought up was attempting to extract water from the moon, harvesting it, and safely sending it back to Earth for our consumption. It's important to note that all this water that is allegedly, isn't even confirmed on the moon, but is allegedly on the moon, is frozen. temperature on the moon is extremely cold, and states here that NASA doesn't even have a mean of, or a way of unfreezing this ice to make it water. Okay. It also states here that the water found in the form of ice doesn't necessarily meet the standards necessary for human consumption. The opposition also suggests that the water found on the moon can be used as rocket fuel by extracting oxygen and hydrogen, and that also the scientists state that doing this on Earth would increase the rate of climate change. However, it raises the question of it also adding or commencing a process of climate change on the moon, and we don't know if that could interfere with the scientists' projections how they will attempt to extract other resources. So ultimately, with that point, it'll cost a lot to unfreeze the water, and it'll take a long time. And by the time this is all done and the water is safe for us to use, it would be probably more expensive than the water here on Earth. Yeah. Finally, an argument introduced by the opposition was that the United States federal government needs to get the upper hand in extracting resources from the moon and distributing them among the Earth, since China usually, at this moment, has the upper hand in that, since they already have the idea of extracting stuff from the moon. They already have an upper hand on the rare resources that are found on the Earth, and also place sanctions on certain nations and not provide them with the rare minerals that they might need. Although it's theoretically a great advantage for the United States to commence this action, it would be noted that the conflict that would arise is going to be tremendous, and it's important to note who would decide what parts of the moon belong to what nations. So those are my main points for negating this resolution for the United States federal government to extract minerals from the moon, as it would not help us and not provide any advantages for our nation. Thank you.